I met Jack 9 years ago, fell in love with him 8 years ago. He was stabbed 13 times by thugs to protect me, and the closest one missed his heart by only 2 centimeters. He would also drive 2 hours to get my favorite late-night snack when I said I was hungry. But later on, I found out that near that late-night snack place lived a bright and lovely girl and their 3-year-old daughter. When I called Jack, it took him a long time to answer. And, sorry, I didn't have my phone with me. What's up? His voice was as charming as ever, but besides that, I could hear a faint woman's voice gently scolding a child in the background. Holding the phone tightly, I softly said, Jack, I'm hungry. He chuckled lightly. Since you eat so little, how about I bring you your favorite late-night snack when I get back? His magnetic voice murmured, wait for me, Anne. After hanging up the phone, I stared blankly at the call logs on my phone. Then I turned my gaze to the other side of the street, where a man held a child's hand and used the other hand to tidy up the woman's hair by her ears. Their gentle expressions were so heartwarming. What a happy family of 3. If he wasn't my husband, on a day with a temperature of 37 to 38 degrees, I couldn't stop shaking all over. I should have rushed over immediately to confront Jack. But the overwhelming disbelief made me step by step away from that place. Because deep down, I knew the answer very well. In the end, I had no idea how I got back home. When I turned on all the lights in the room with a loud click, suddenly, I remembered the bright yellow crystal chandelier that Jack had personally installed overhead, saying that the color created a cozy atmosphere. On the wall hung a Sumi painting we had completed together. It was ugly, yet we kept it for 4 years and hesitated to replace it, the paper turning yellow with age. It looked even uglier now. Leaning against the wall, I squatted down, arms in an embrace, holding myself tightly. The living room was brightly lit, and I wouldn't have to wait until 1 in the morning anymore. Tears trickled down my chin, and as I sat on the floor, my thoughts were hazy. How did Jack and I end up here today? Clearly, he had once taken 14 stabs to protect me, with the closest one to his heart only 2 centimeters away. He'd been on the brink of death 3 times according to the hospital. During that time, Jack was fighting for his life inside, while I was barely holding on outside the door. That winter was my eternal nightmare. Every time I remembered, the deep-rooted fear would tug back and forth in my bones, causing me more pain. He would drive 2 hours to buy me my favorite late-night snack just because I said I was hungry. Even our friends around us would say we were the longest-lasting and most loving couple. Everyone thought we could make it to the end. Even I did. In high school, when I was falsely accused of stealing money, everyone suspected me. Only Jack stood up to believe in me. He accompanied me to check the surveillance footage to prove my innocence. Since then, my eyes would always inadvertently glance at him. Him drinking water, him sleeping with his arm as a pillow on the desk. In the unobserved corners, our love was growing wildly. During a break between classes, I saw him talking to a girl while leaning on the table. I stared blankly, feeling a sharp pang in my heart, sour and bitter. When they looked over in our direction, I hastily averted my gaze, fidgeting with the eraser in my hand, leaving eraser shavings all over the place. We were reassigned as desk partners in class, and I sat with Jack. I tried hard to suppress the curve of my lips. It was at that moment that I suddenly realized I had fallen for Jack. After becoming desk partners with Jack, I learned that he liked a specific brand of milk, slept quietly, and was handsome when asleep. Later, after becoming a couple with Jack, I found out that he was very affectionate, liked to be close to and act cute with loved ones. It was a world of difference from the rebellious teenager I had imagined, completely different people. He would lean on the desk, looking at me with those beautiful eyes, blinking. Too tired, need wifey's kisses before I can relax. Afraid of others hearing, I immediately covered his mouth. This is class. Do you want people to find out? Jack took the opportunity to kiss my palm, his eyes curved, like a fox who had successfully stolen a chicken, tail wagging in delight. I was charmed by his affection, my heart and face flushed with warmth. Completely different from the rebellious teenager I had imagined, he was like a sweet little cake. Is this what they call a contrasting charm? He was like an eternally young child, immature and jealous, always sticking close whenever there was a chance. But it was okay if he never grew up. I could pamper little Jack forever. On my 18th birthday, my first wish after closing my eyes was to always love little Jack, to be together forever. After graduation, Jack often couldn't sleep all night due to anxiety about preparing for the company's IPO. I ran around looking for all kinds of remedies to help with his insomnia. Seeing him looking thin, I felt heartbroken. Why don't I quit being a blogger and be your personal secretary, to help shoulder some of your stress? Jack laughed, resting his head on my shoulder, murmuring, being a secretary is tiring. I don't want you running around for me. Just do what you love, wait and see, I'll make a lot of money. Isn't there a saying, husband makes money to spend on the wife, husband works outside to make money to spend on Anne? My face was burning red, scolding him for being shameless. Jack's eyes were full of laughter as he leaned in to kiss me. At that time, I truly believed it would be him from then on. But later on, reality taught me a harsh lesson. It told me, don't be so naive as a person. So when did I realize something was wrong? Was it when I knew he had been keeping a diary of our every moment since high school, which hadn't been touched since then? Or was it when I found a small receipt for purchasing a necklace in his suit jacket pocket, and the next day it appeared around Jessica's neck? At this moment, there was a sound from the doorway. Jack was back. He exuded a cool air, with a faint hint of a girl's perfume clinging to him. He raised what was in his pocket. Hungry yet? I'm back soon. This is the last pot. Jack, I interrupted him, softly saying, I saw everything. Jack's movements paused, and the smile on his face slowly faded. So what? We had the most intense argument in history. I smashed everything that could be smashed in the room. I sternly questioned him. That store moved a long time ago. It only takes 20 minutes to get there. So, tell me, what were you doing with the remaining time? Jack stood still, silent. I smashed a cup on him and shouted hysterically, for the remaining 1 hour and 40 minutes, you were with her, right? You could even spare time to buy supper. Jack, how despicable can you get? When the truth was revealed, the relationship had become unbearable. I cried and laughed. The room looked like a storm had passed through. Jack stood quietly watching me go crazy. After a while, he finally spoke. And, you look scary right now. You seem like a completely different person. I froze, looking at myself through the mirror. Who is the disheveled, red-eyed, mad woman in the mirror? I was determined to get a divorce, but Jack firmly disagreed. He gently stroked my hair, and, I admit it was my fault. But trust me, Jessica was just a fling. That child was an accident. You are the one I love the most. I turned my head to avoid his touch. Don't touch me, it disgusts me. Jack's hand stiffened slightly, his eyes filled with ambiguous emotions. The next morning, the room looked like a tornado hit, but on the table, there was a bouquet of dew-covered cherry grass. The smile on my face slowly faded. In the 3rd month of my relationship with Jack, we were like many young couples in love, very affectionate. But it wasn't me who was clingy, it was Jack. During our lunch break, we would climb to the roof and simply lean against each other, feeling very sweet. As I dozed off, leaning on his shoulder, Jack suddenly said, Anne, what will we do if we argue in the future? I closed my eyes and didn't respond. I didn't expect him to be so scared. What if I am clueless and can't comfort Anne? Sleepiness vanished in that moment and I quietly smiled. Jack saw that I was pretending to sleep, so he became bolder, rubbing his head against me like a puppy. He kept muttering, Anne, can you give me a little clue? Could you maybe give me a hint? Alright. His tousled hair tickled me and itched, so I decided to give him a hint because he was my little Jack. After all, Jack's eyes lit up, listening intently to me, more serious than ever. When I'm upset, seeing flowers always makes me feel better. Glancing in Jack's direction, seeing how earnest he was, almost as if he was taking notes, I forced back a smile and continued, I like many flowers, but my favorite is cherry grass. The flower language of cherry grass is no love but you. A teenage girl's heart is full of romance. If you ever get angry with me, I will give you cherry grass every day until you forgive me. The boy pursed his lips, his eyes on the girl full of simple and pure joy. At that moment, I only thought of how as long as he tried to appease me, I wouldn't really stay mad at him. I stared at the bouquet of cherry grass in front of me. So, is this your way of apologizing, Jack? But, Jack, I can never truly forgive you, because you're not worthy. Upon hearing the news of Jack's affair, Helen rushed to the White's group banquet. She raised her hand and slapped Jack hard, splashing the red wine in her glass all over his face. The scene was in an uproar. Her eyes were red, and she spat out each word slowly. Jerk, this is karma. When I received the message, I hurried to the scene. Amy was trembling all over, cursing the jerk and the third party. Jack stood quietly in his place, looking away, his wet hair hiding all his emotions. Jessica, in a red dress, looked worried and handed him a handkerchief. He completely ignored her gesture, his gaze fixed firmly on me. I stepped forward, grabbing her arm. Amy, let's go home. Helen, don't drag me. What kind of garbage is this? Jack, you just wait. I won't let you off. Facing Helen's insults, Jack also had no reaction. His black eyes seemed calm, yet hidden with 1,000 words. But this feeling disappeared in an instant. Jack's cold eyes swept over Helen. Done with the drama. And, if you've had enough, take your friends and leave. Drama. I chuckled lightly. Are you worth it? Jack, don't forget, I still own 7% of the company. So, I have the right to attend today's group banquet too. When he faced a crisis in his business for the first time, I slipped a card into his hand, which was all my savings. I just remember him hugging me tightly, his voice trembling. And, I will succeed. I will make sure you have a good life. Now, he did succeed, becoming the new rich of city, with countless people chasing after him. I had no parents, and that 7% of the shares was my dowry prepared by Jack. He said, Anne, anyone might betray you, but money never will. Even if I'm not by your side in the future, you'll still live well. Who would have thought that those words would come true? And Jack had long forgotten their meaning. He just pondered for a moment, his face showing no emotion, and, I can give you money, enough to buy your shares. I refused without hesitation. Even if I had to go to White's group every day, I would continue to oppose them. Standing next to me, Sam became unhappy, pointing at me with his greasy fingers. A woman should stay at home, cook, and have children. What are you meddling with? Jack, who could easily support you, I'd say. Wives are unnecessary. Seeing Jack's expressionless face, Sam immediately shut up, feeling a chill on his back. Jack looked at me with a complex expression, his tone full of disagreement. Your profession has nothing to do with finance. Why be so persistent? And, just give in to me, and you can still do what you love. I sneered. Well, keep on dreaming, because anything goes in dreams. When it comes to studying management knowledge, those obscure and hard to understand professional terms can really make your head spin. I would remind myself at these times that White's group also has my share of the money, so why should Jack and that woman get away with it? The more I thought about it, the more I hated it, and I could even learn from the toughest books. And the way to improve quickly is to start with the employees. I worked on proposals, stayed overtime until the last person left. I don't know if it's fate, but I always seem to bump into Jack when I'm in the elevator. If it weren't for his infidelity, I would really think this person is waiting here specifically to go home with me. Several times when he wanted to say something, I would turn my back and open the elevator door. I could feel his gaze always on my back, but at that moment, I just wanted to leave quickly. After more than a month of hard work, I finally had the opportunity to present my proposal, and I hurried to the conference room with the files. Suddenly, a frantic girl ran towards me and collided with me head-on. The coffee in her hand spilled, and we both fell to the ground. I looked up and saw a familiar face. Jessica was also stunned. Hearing the commotion, Jack immediately rushed over to check. He instinctively started walking towards me, but then hesitated, and then headed towards Jessica. I heard him anxiously ask, "Are you scalded?" The girl seemed startled and said quietly that she was fine. I felt a sting on my arm, chuckled self-deprecatingly, struggled to get up. For a moment there, I almost thought he was coming towards me. I bit my lip, picked up the files stained with coffee from the ground. Even though the coffee was just warm, why did I feel like crying? Jack finally noticed the injury on my hand, furrowed his brow. "And I'll have someone send you some ointment." And Jessica didn't do it on purpose, he added as if to shield his loved one from me. Was this to prevent me from hurting the person he cared about? I smiled at him. "Jack, the divorce agreement should be arriving soon." Ignoring his momentary surprise, I held back the pain and limped forward. In the cubicle, I applied ointment to my wounds, wiped my face, my palms sweaty. In high school, when someone slapped me, Jack was ready to grab a chair and fight the person. He may be indifferent, but he couldn't bear to see me suffer even a bit. But now, without any hesitation, he walked past me to the other girl. He clearly knew I couldn't stand pain. Coming out of the cubicle, I found Sam waiting for me around the corner, his squinty eyes incredibly cloudy. "Hey, Mrs. Jack, why are your eyes so red? Did you have a fight with Jack?" Hearing the veiled gloating in his words, I coldly ignored him. Raising his voice behind me, Sam added, "Mrs. Jack, don't forget to attend the celebration banquet this afternoon. You're the hero of this project, you know." I thought even if Sam hated me, he wouldn't trip me up in front of so many people, but I was wrong. When I returned to the private room after coming out of the restroom, the lively celebration was reduced to just Sam. He tapped the table, his gaze towards me filled with unknown intentions. "Where are the others?" Sam's pockmarked face was full of smugness. "I had them leave, and said you left early. Now it's just me and you." My heart skipped a beat, and I quickly opened the door of the room and ran out. Sam cursed a couple of times, and quickly caught up with me, grabbing my hair fiercely, his breath sticky and disgusting. "What's so great about Jack? I can tell you two are splitting up. If that bastard can sleep with his woman, I'm not losing anything." I went crazy, smashing my bag on his head. "Don't touch me, get lost." Enraged, Sam raised his fist to hit me, and I instinctively hugged my head. The anticipated punch didn't land on me, only hearing a painful wail. Sam fell to the ground, enduring blow after blow. After a while, Jack turned around, his clothes stained with blood. He carefully held me, his voice hoarse, and, "Don't be afraid, I'm here." But my body couldn't stop trembling. Feeling his panic and fear, I spoke softly, "Jack, what's with the act of caring now? If it weren't for you, Sam might not have targeted me." I bit into his shoulder, unable to hold back tears. "Why does it have to be me? Jack, I hate you." Jack patted my back, and I heard him say, "Then hate me." And today was relatively lucky because the streetlights on the way back to the rental house had been fixed by someone. After the showdown with Jack, I moved out of that villa and still haven't found a suitable house yet. The next day at work, I heard from the staff that Sam had been fired, seemed like he had offended someone, lost a hand, and was still in a coma in the hospital. I fell silent for a moment, and then bowed my head to look for an apartment online. Perhaps the bad luck was over. Not only did I get continuous promotions at work, but most importantly, I found my dream house. The layout inside was exactly as if it was tailored to my taste. To celebrate the move, I decided to go on a shopping spree. Just didn't expect that when I walked out of the supermarket with 2 plastic bags, I would run into Jack, with his daughter. The little girl was perched on the adult's shoulder, delicate like a doll, and with a hint of Jack's features in her eyes and brows. She focused on me intently, her big round eyes filled with curiosity. I prepared to walk past without looking, but she suddenly reached out her chubby little arms towards me, as if wanting me to hold her. I held my breath, forcing myself to look away. In my mind, I kept telling myself that she was Jack's child with someone else, even though she was a bit cute. But for some reason, at the first sight of this little girl, there was always a strange sense of familiarity. Seeing that I had no intention of holding her, the little girl pouted, turned her head, and started crying in a rueful manner. A sharp pain echoed in my heart. I suddenly felt at a loss. Jack apologized, carried the girl away. The feeling in my chest remained painful and suffocating. I pressed against it, wondering what was happening. It wasn't until we were far away and the girl was still hiccuping and crying. Jack wiped away the tears on her face. Didn't you see her? The little girl cried even louder, haphazardly wiped her tears, mumbling, Jessica wants to be held. Jack just patted her back, remaining silent for a long time. On the way home from work, I noticed a child squatting on the roadside from a distance, looking very familiar. Approaching, it was indeed Jack's daughter. Why are you squatting here? The little girl looked up and her eyes lit up as she ran over to me. In a soft and childish voice, she replied, I'm looking for my mom. I took out my phone to call Jack, but no one answered. I called his office, and they said Jack had already left for the day. Do you know your mom's phone number? I asked. The little girl thought for a moment and shook her head. Even though I felt a twinge of guilt seeing this child, adult matters were never the concern of children. I sighed and asked for her name. When she said Jane, I couldn't help but wonder uncontrollably, who was she missing? Jane tugged at my sleeve and looked up at me. Auntie, Jane wants to go to the amusement park. I replied, expressionless, it's getting dark already. She held my hand and tried to convince me. I just want to ride the merry-go-round for a little while. Looking at her pleading eyes, my heart softened, and I agreed. Jane happily reached out her hand to me, and after a few seconds of hesitation, I lifted her up from the ground. The little girl nestled against my neck, exuding a pleasant scent of milk all over. I couldn't help but relax my body to make her more comfortable. She was well behaved, resting her tired body on my shoulder without fussing. I bought her a cotton candy, but she extended her arm to feed it to me. Auntie, the first bite of anything is the sweetest. Have a taste, she said. I took the cotton candy, feeling a mix of emotions. If only she wasn't Jack's child with someone else. As we parted ways, Jane gave me a bunny plush toy from her backpack. This is Jane's best friend. Let it keep you company, she said. I waved goodbye to her, and the little one hesitantly looked back a few times with reluctance in her eyes. Watching her shrinking figure, I suddenly felt a bit dizzy. I touched my head and muttered to myself, looks like I need to go to the hospital. 2 weeks later, after the divorce cooling-off period ended, I handed the divorce agreement to Jack. When he took the thin paper, his whole body was shaking. And they really were accidents, he said. It doesn't matter, Jack, I interrupted. When you chose to keep it a secret, you had already betrayed our marriage. A few steps away, Jack couldn't contain himself and shouted, Anne. Tears welling up in his eyes, his voice hoarse. Forget about me. My tears almost fell instantly. But after a brief pause, I wiped my tears and kept walking forward. I became the true major shareholder of the Whites Group. After going out to celebrate, a colleague glimpsed at my photo album. Pointing to a picture of a child on a merry-go-round, she said, whose child is this? So cute. Before I could respond, she stared at the photo and then back at me, her face looking strange. Helen, don't you think this child looks just like you? She asked. It was like a thunderbolt to my ear, leaving me stunned. What are you saying? Look, the girl's eyes and yours are like they were carved from the same mold. My hands and feet turned cold, my mind blurred, unable to hear what she said next. Various fragmented and blurry memories appeared in my mind. Panicked, I pulled out my phone to ask Jack what was going on, but someone arrived at the door. Inside the coffee shop, the woman in front of me stirred her coffee bowl uneasily. Desperately, I asked, whose daughter is Jane? And more importantly, who are you? Helen looked up at me and said, Anne, deep down, you already have the answer, don't you? I was shocked. What do you mean? She slowly rolled up her sleeve, revealing a scar on her wrist, a light-colored crescent-shaped scar, exactly like the one on my hand. She sighed, "Anne, I am you." The cup slipped from my hand. "No, it's impossible. Is it really me who lived near that late-night eatery? Did Jack really cheat? Who was the person he helped up in the pantry?" Seeing Jane, didn't it feel familiar? It even hurts. Jessica gently touched my face and softly spoke. "Anne, you need to go back. You don't belong here." I pushed her hand away, stepping back. "I don't understand what you're saying. Jack betrayed me. I hate him." My vision blurred, biting my lower lip fiercely, tasting the blood in my mouth. Repeatedly, I said, "I will forever hate him." It's only now that I truly wake up. Yes, I don't belong here. This world is just a dream. In reality, Jack did not betray me. On the contrary, we were very much in love. He held my hand as we traveled everywhere, and just when I thought we would grow old together, fate took away all my happiness. In the 5th year of our marriage, Jack was diagnosed with chronic organ failure. In just 3 months, he went from a vibrant young man to frail and weak, covered in tubes. That fool, in pain himself, managed to squeeze out a smile to comfort me. "And it's better this way. I'll walk ahead of you and pave the way." He wiped away my tears, his gentleness heartbreaking. "To spare you the pain of looking for me when the time comes." I prayed earnestly against the white walls of the hospital, but even that couldn't stop Jack's condition from deteriorating. On the day he left, it was pouring rain outside. I cried until I fainted. Waking up again, the doctor told me that due to excessive grief, I had lost the 3-month-old baby in my womb. Clutching the report, I regretted bitterly, not having felt the life within me, not even having a chance to tell Jack we were expecting. She silently slipped away once more. On that same day, the 2 people I loved the most had left me. But what scared me the most was slowly forgetting about Jack. I don't know how I entered this dream, but I know that the safest feeling in the world is hatred. It never betrays. 2 souls never untangle, never forget. So here, Jack betrayed our marriage, had a 3-year-old daughter with someone else. She was my 3-month-old Jane. When I thought about it, things I had ignored before gradually became clear, and I quickly found the rabbit doll that Jane had given me. With trembling hands, I unzipped the back of the doll and a note fell out. It read, "Mom is so silly. I've known you're my mom for a long time. Jane loves Mom. Mom, don't get sick. Daddy says being sick hurts a lot." At that moment, an unbearable pain surrounded my heart, and I held the note and cried bitterly. A pair of hands embraced me, and as I turned around, I clung to his hand like a life-saving straw. "Jack, Jane is our daughter," I said. Jack wiped my face gently and said softly, "I know. She looks a lot like you." With a glimmer of hope, I asked him, "Can I see Jane again?" And Jane's wish was to go to the amusement park with her mom. Now that her wish is fulfilled, she has left. I leaned weakly against him, murmuring, "But I haven't heard her call me Mom yet." Suddenly, I remembered the day I held Jane under the warm yellow street light. She braved up and planted a kiss on my cheek. I turned to look at her in surprise. She shyly buried her little face in my neck. Maybe at that moment, Jane had already called me Mom. But Mom was too foolish and didn't respond in time. I covered my face, voice choked with emotion. "I'm sorry. I didn't protect Jane. Jack, please don't leave me again, okay? No one can bear their loved one leaving twice." Jack reached out and patted my head, saying, "Okay." The stone hanging in my chest finally fell. We went to the temple to burn incense and pray for Jane, reciting the mantra of transference. In the next life, our Jane will be a cute and happy child, living a long and blessed life. On our way back, it started snowing lightly. A man in black clothes suddenly appeared from the corner and grabbed my hair fiercely. "You filthy whore. It's all because of your old man that I've become like this." In the dim light, a beam of light flashed past, illuminating Sam's dirty and contorted face. He looked excited, raising the knife in his only hand to stab at my neck. But I couldn't avoid it in time. And Jack rushed over and shielded me tightly in his arms. I saw Sam stabbing him over and over again, the sound of flesh being pierced, the chaotic noises around us. Jack trembled in pain, but still held me tightly in his arms. I roared like a mother wolf, smashing my head against Sam's, going crazy. "Someone is getting killed over there. So much blood. Run, run." The noises faded away, and Jack finally ran out of energy, collapsing on the ground as his blood slowly seeped through his clothes. Tears streamed down my face uncontrollably as I helped Jack up and slowly left the alley. "Jack, I'll find help. We'll go. We'll go." The ground was covered in a thin layer of snow, Jack's blood dripping onto it. His face was paler than the moonlight. He reached out his hand, stained with blood and dirt, and wiped the tears off my face, softly saying, "Don't be afraid, Anne. Are you hurt, Anne?" I shook my head desperately, not caring if he saw me or not, tears blurring my vision. With a faint smile, Jack coughed violently, blood flowing from the corner of his mouth. He handed me something from his arms. "This is an amulet I pray for you, and the divorce agreement I signed." Tears flowed uncontrollably. "You promised you wouldn't leave me again," I said. Jack's eyes gradually lost their light. "I'm sorry, Anne. I broke my promise. My last wish was to protect you one more time." I stared blankly as everything around me began to collapse, Jack's body gradually dissipating. His final kiss on my forehead was filled with reluctance. "Anne, you should go back now." "No, don't." But the overwhelming darkness rushed towards me, and I completely lost consciousness. After what felt like ages, I heard someone calling me. "Anne, wake up." I slowly opened my eyes and saw a woman with glasses looking at me with concern. She asked if there was anywhere I felt uncomfortable. I shook my head blankly, not understanding the situation. "Where am I?" The woman introduced herself. "I'm your therapist. You were under too much work pressure, so I hypnotized you to help you sleep." It seemed like I had a very long dream. The woman hesitated, her voice sounding strange. "Just a dream, not real." I nodded, but couldn't shake the intense pain in my heart. I looked at the notebook with a dog pattern on the table, puzzled, and asked the woman what it was. "That's the story of a devoted person's lifetime." I opened the door. The sunshine outside was beautiful. I took one last look at the woman and stepped into the sunlight. In my palm was a red talisman. On February 1st, she became my new desk mate, and I felt a little happy. She looked so focused in class, I wanted to pinch her cheeks. I wonder if Anne likes me too. I caught her stealing glances at me, but I had to act like I didn't notice. "Jack, you gotta play it cool. No one wants a worthless boy." On August 9th, I confessed to Anne and she said yes. The back of this diary page is filled with red hearts. Beneath it are two stick figures kissing on a big heart. On November 3rd, Anne is going to have exams soon. She said I always disturb her and don't let me accompany her while she studies. She's not happy and loves the milk I brought this morning. I'll have to buy it more often in the future. We kissed today and pulled my ear and told me to behave. I'd better watch out from now on. On April 18th, I ran out of space in my old notebook, so I purposely switched to a dog-themed notebook and likes the most. When our anniversary comes, I will show her this notebook. If she doesn't get all teary-eyed, then I'm truly amazing. Romantic guys deserve to be cherished. When I grow old, I'll pass on all my love expertise to my son. If I'm this happy, he should be happy too. If I have a daughter, she must be as beautiful as my wife. I'll pamper her like a little princess. On June 7th, class is so boring. I carved something on the desk. A classmate pointed to the words on my desk about Anne, really like you, and burst into laughter. I gave him a good scolding. On November 21st, I fell ill. It hurts a bit, but hearing Anne's suppressed cry made it hurt more. I probably won't make it through this summer, but what about my Anne? So, I asked my junior sister, who is a top hypnotist in the world. I want Anne to forget about me. In the dreamland, I don't know why Anne treated me like a cheating scumbag. I feel wronged, but it's for the best. Let her hate me. I seized the opportunity and walked downstairs with Anne, even though she ignored me. By the way, the streetlights near Anne's house need to be fixed quickly. We should find a better place to live. The security there is too poor. Actually, Anne, I failed to protect you and Jane. I have a feeling Anne is about to leave here. The divorce agreement is my way of letting her go. The monk asked me if I wanted to put a note inside the talisman for safety. With tears streaming down my face while closing my eyes, I finally penned on the last page of the diary, and I didn't stay with you till the end. It's my fault.